So many times in one day did I sigh at what Bungie has offered between Renegades plus the air quotes major update of Ash and Iron. I could go on about how Renegades is just Bungie's take on a Helldivers-esque game mode while copy and pasting as many different Star Wars references as possible, but I'm going to focus on what Ash and Iron has to offer and how it's so far an embarrassing display. Off the bat, the story for Ash and Iron was looking far-fetched even before the full reveal. Supposedly, Maya Sundaresh was run a bit ragged after the events of Edge of Fate. Because of that, she was looking for a warsat facility to further extend her reach. Ignoring the many Rasputin and Clovis Bray facilities on Mars, Sundaresh starts by attacking the tower in a nighttime smash and grab before spreading to the Plaguelands. During this fight, we encounter Red Legion Cabal under control of Maya's influence. So the conductor was run ragged, but suddenly she appears with a Red Legion army. Right. Now you may be asking where this Red Legion came from. Officially, the Red Legion was practically dismantled, being split between Keitel's Loyalist army or the Shadow Legion. So where did all these Red Legion come from? According to what Anna Bray says in the opening mission, Maya used the Vex network, pulled Red Legion from an alternate timeline, and then fitted them with Coral Influence collars to make them fight for Sundaresh. This is another somehow Palpatine returned level of plot writing. Sundaresh was weakened from the Edge of Fate, so suddenly she pulls a Red Legion army from another timeline. Right. Next up is the Plaguelands. I've said before how dead it looks compared to the original Destiny 1 Plaguelands, whatever. The issue here being, in Destiny 1 the Plaguelands featured some Cosmodrome regions updated with SIVA and snow, basically getting a winter version of a number of Cosmodrome regions. When you run the new Reclaim activity, you once again visit these regions that in reality are right next to the Plaguelands. Literally just over a minute's walk to get from the Rocket Yard to Lord's Watch on the other side of the wall. But all the regions outside of the Plaguelands, no snow, just the regular Cosmodrome versions. So Plaguelands are covered in snow, but the Cosmodrome is just its normal version, even though it's just across the wall. Cool. Then there is Bungie doing everything they can to not bring back SIVA Fallen in any capacity other than set dressing in the new Plaguelands, as you can find fully modeled SIVA Splicer Vandal corpses in the Destiny 2 Plaguelands. This one found right next to two other corpses in Bunker Treeglove. Now before anyone says, but we destroyed SIVA, there's no way to bring them back in the story. First off, Outbreak Perfected is still capable of creating SIVA nanites. This is the whole reason Aramis sent a crew to steal Outbreak in the original 0-hour mission. Second, Bungie has shown many times, specifically with all three of the reprised raids, Bungie does not care about timelines. They return to Oryx and Crota even after killing each of them in their own respective D1 raids. In terms of the timeline, they are DEAD dead. Doesn't matter that they are always there every time we load into a raid. So, can Bungie just give us Wrath of the Machine? I know they will have to restore a complete faction to do it, but the longer it takes for them to nut up and do it, the more likely it is that Bungie doesn't survive long enough to reprise Wrath of the Machine. Now let's rewind a little bit back to the opening weeks of the final shape. Guardians were running Overthrow constantly, needing to kill every Overthrow boss at least once or a few times after bugs for the exotic Kvostov, grinding all the different rolls for Ergo Sum, or specifically getting one with Wolfpack rounds. Then it was grinding the many different combinations of prismatic class items. Because for most people, opening the estimated 30-ish chest for a drop was an easier grind than finding someone else to run Dual Destiny and maybe spending some 30-ish minutes trying to finish the mission. Keep in mind you had to communicate often, so random LFG was almost never used. Overthrow was run so much, I had no desire to ever run it again. Now we have Reclaim, which is basically just Overthrow again with a very light touch of Nether buffs, because while the buffs are powerful, you can't build or stack like the Nether. So far it's just a basic buff you can swap out when given the option. So now the current seasonal activity is an alternate version of an activity many Guardians have already run dozens, possibly hundreds of times. Just this time we are in the Plaguelands. Unfortunately, this version you're not allowed to travel between zones on your own. If you try to leave a zone, you get hit with a wall preventing movement out of the zone. Transition is being forced between jump ship transmat. That has already proven to be a softlock problem, among the many other reported bugs and issues hitting the Destiny 2 team Twitter account, and I do mean many tweets. On top of all that, for some reason, Bungie decided to timegate the new exotic mission for a whole month after the launch. The one thing that had any sort of pull in this air quotes major update, we're left waiting a while for. Plus, the main reward was proven to be a version of the Iron Axe we could own and customize. If past experience is any teacher, the unlock process for this exotic will be a multi-week process, getting the exotic on opening and further catalyst perks and build options with every week following. would have been a better launch the week after the epic version of Desert Perpetual has its raid race. Those are some of the bigger issues I have, but there are some smaller ones, like how Mida Macro Tool is a Crucible painted Tex Mechanica shotgun, very different from Mida Mini Tool's visual design even though they are siblings. But the alternate rocket sidearm you can substitute with Drang looks like Drang's mirror twin. The fact that the brand new seasonal content launched with no matchmaking options other than possibly random chance finding it in match-made Fireteam Ops modes. It raising the light cap even though it's going to be reset in 3 months anyway, so it's effectively pointless. There being no seasonal activity hub, so finding the new activity is like navigating Tartarus. Most of the seasonal challenges once again being scavenger hunts and different portal activities that generally seem to not be very rewarding for the trouble. Plus, even though a new rewards pass in season was rolled in, there is no new seasonal artifact. We are missing the usual sandbox shakeup we get from a new selection of artifact perks. Plus, to pull back to the rewards pass, free update, but you still have to spend a season's worth of silver to unlock the rewards pass. Free update, but you still spend $10 for rewards pass. I shouldn't have to explain why that's screwed. That is not to say there was no good done with Ash and Iron. One of the vaults was replaced with a monument that allows you to pull unique rewards from past seasons' reward passes, exotics, ghost shells, ornaments, and that sort of thing. If you earned them but didn't claim them, you could collect them for free, plus a new earnable currency for those that were not present during your rewards passes time, so that they may claim what they have missed. Even though it's all to sell silver bundles, the cosmetics team is cooking up some pretty good stuff. A genuine Taken armor set is finally here after being very well overdue. So I suppose a Jade Rabbit armor set somewhere, and the final designs for the voted Festival Lost armor looks perfectly creepy. Though, as Divide once again pointed out in his own video, Ash and Iron is a free update that is overflowing with cosmetic seasonal options, once again intended to sell silver bundles. And as much as I have issues with the portal as a whole, it was updated, getting more activities, one of which was a previously sunset activity. Still believe the portal shouldn't have launched missing so many activities that were still present in Destiny, but additions are happening even if Destiny was in a better state before the portal. The exotic weapons may be few in number, but their design ideas are pretty solid. A new Strand rocket pulse firing sticky bombs that can be manually detonated coming from the current rewards pass, and the new Iron Axe looks to be coming with some Rasputin powerful upgrades. I feel like the low number isn't exactly the greatest, but again, free update, so I'll take it with a grain of salt. This also isn't the final verdict because there is another 3 months for Bungie to improve this season. Sadly, some of the faults lie in the foundations of the season, so there's some things that won't have the potential for change, period. Either way, that is all I got so far. I already stated what needs to happen with the Plaguelands return to be a worthwhile reprisal in the eyes of somebody who was there originally, and so far nothing I described made the jump. SIVA was never likely to return, being a free update. Wrath of the Machine was also clearly not on Bungie's priority list, and even though the Wretched Eye Strike could pretty easily be adapted to Destiny 2, even missing SIVA components as a whole, still nowhere to be found. Even though Act 2 or 3 coming later, like episodes, there is no likelihood of a dev stream revealed down the line suddenly changing this outcome. Truly is a shame that the return of the Plaguelands happened in a free update rather than an annual expansion where it could have gotten the full package. Personally, Rise of Iron has the most fond of Destiny memories, so I would rather seen it treated much better than what we got, but I'm also not one of the content creators that Bungie listens to when making decisions. Even though returning planets and patrol zones, getting back content we paid for, and returning Destiny to a simpler state of grinding is something I regularly advocate for. Bungie making Destiny all about the power grind is likely going to kill Destiny, considering plenty of people get into Destiny for every other reason. Lore, story, characters, exotic collecting, raiding hijinks with friends. The main reason people love Destiny was often separate to just getting the power to light cap. I think Bungie lost that some time ago and have not regained that vision since. The almighty dollar rules, I guess. With the end of this topic coming, as always, the comments are open for some discussion. Agree, disagree, just hating how Bungie's treating Destiny? Whatever the case, civil discussion is always welcome. I'd like to think this is some good common sense from an 11-year Destiny veteran that just wants Destiny to be like it was before, not this perpetual Ouroboros power grind slop it's become. If you enjoyed and are looking to support my channel, a like and subscribe will always be appreciated, but with that, my name is the Mad Scorpion, and I will see you in the next video.